Hello everybody, my name is Pravus and welcome back to more Plague Inc. Evolved custom scenarios. Let's get some more done, shall we? Now I have a request today for a scenario called The Plague for Blood by NeilB67, who we have seen recently before, and this sounds very ominous. He asked for it very nicely and was like, alright, sure, we'll play this. You are an unknown disease formed for blood. You are in a lab for scientists to create a vaccine for. This virus can infect the blood, and when at its fatal stage, blood will come out of the body. Oh, it's not supposed to go out of the body. It's supposed to stay in the body. I see the problem. You broke out of the lab. Can you kill all humans ages 18 and up? Oh my. Very adult themed, apparently. Praise Pravus. Perfect. It is a bacteria, and somehow my genes got reset again. Why does this happen once in a while? I don't know. We'll go for metabolic jump, Darwinist, Aquasite, probably. Extremophile, of course. Gosh, I'm just misclicking everything, and we'll go for the symptostasis, I suppose. Seems okay. All right, brutal difficulty? Yeah, why not? Let's go ahead and do that. BD 90. Blood disease 90? I don't know. An unknown pathogen. You are a horrifying and dangerous pathogen which infects and damages the blood and kills in the most bloodiest ways possible. If we don't end this scenario with a literal river or ocean of blood in the urban cities, I'm going to be very disappointed. Cover the world in blood. The lab was in China, of course it was, being worked on for a vaccine to this dangerous plague. They have no idea you escaped. Can you kill them all? Probably. There's like 1 billion people to go through. Let's start there, right? Start small and then we'll work our way through. All right, transmissions, what do we got? Blood. Well, that makes sense. You spread through human blood, causing slight damage to the blood cells, increasing severity. Water and air is going to be a thing. Those are very generic. Also, sheep blood, as well as pig blood, which some people just like eat pork blood. Can you believe that? Like, that's just one of the most disgusting things I've ever heard of. Anyway, and then we have birds. Bird blood? It spreads through fecal matter as well when pooped on. Oh, that's just gross. Symptoms, we have a rash, okay? Become blistered, only 3 DNA. Honestly, seems perfectly reasonable. That leads to bloody tears. Tears become bloody, but can only show when the host is upset, increasing severity a little bit. Actual thing that exists. It is possible for the human body to undergo such unbelievable levels of stress that you start sweating blood and bleeding out of your eyes. It's a very real thing. Don't look it up. It's disgusting. Bloody bruises on the face. At what point is this just basically hemophilia or something, or anemia? I don't know. Bruises full of blood grow on the face. Is this like a blood blister? Are you sure it's a bruise? I mean, bruises are already kind of like damaged blood vessels beneath the skin. So it seems kind of redundant there, but bruises full of blood, ugh. Can only imagine what that looks like. Vomiting, we vomit out blood, yep. And abilities. We've got our cold, heat, and drug resistance, as well as several bacterial spores. Now, I'll be honest, as much as I do enjoy having a fail-safe once in a while to get into dang Greenland, it's okay not to do those if they don't make sense. Like, how does a blood disease affect bacterial spores? I'm just saying, it's nice in theory, but probably doesn't belong. That said, before I get too upset about it, let's actually see if I can win this scenario on brutal difficulty before I toss my what is it called? A life ring back at the boat. You know what I mean? It's not really a phrase, but I made it up, and it's a good one, I think. Sheep, none of these really say whether it infects a specific biome type. I kind of want to infect urban, because that's the only thing China has going for it, and I mean that quite literally in this case. So that's what I want to do. Human environments, yeah, blood cells, this doesn't do a lot for me except for some severity. Let's just go for the air and the water to start. It's certainly a good start. Get me out of China as fast as possible. And then, yeah, before we get out of China, I guess we should get a little severity in the form of the blood, because I want to get as much DNA out of the red bubbles as possible. Come on, you guys have watched me play this game before. You know the reasoning. Do I need to explain it all? I kind of do every once in a while just because, like, I don't know. I don't know how many of you guys might be new. Maybe you've never seen Plague Inc. before. For some reason, you clicked on The Plague for Blood and thought, oh, that sounds like a load of fun. Never heard of this Pravus guy before, but sure, Plague for Blood. Let's check and look at it. And then you're just watching a new video. So I have to explain everything. It's just, it's at this point, like, I don't feel like I have a choice. I have to explain everything I do. At least I try to anyway. Red bubbles are coming along pretty nicely. Do we want to get any more infectivity with the rest of these guys? I mean, we could, but let's start with some symptoms instead. I'm thinking a little vomit. A little vomit of the blood, get me a bit more severity going. Coughing, usually good for urban areas. Wish I had found this sooner. We'll go ahead and pick that up. And also a loss of breath. Yeah, okay. Bloody saliva, ugh. Ugh, imagine that you had a lot of blood leaking into your saliva and you had to spit blood out all the dang time. Gross. Saliva turns bloody and causes an infected to have an urge to spit constantly, increasing infectivity from kissing and a little bit of severity. Good if we have the Festival of Love event. Otherwise, I'm not worried about it. Tinnitus. Yeah, that's just, yeah, sorry, that's like an Archer joke. Tinnitus is the thing where, like, your ears, like, are constantly ringing and stuff. Usually indicates some pretty serious eardrum damage and other such things. Anyways, I think I'm gonna go ahead and grab some drug resistance and some cold resistance so we can spread faster in places like Russia. Though let's also remember that starting off in China, we don't have any particular biome efficiency when it comes to cold or heat resistance. So we wanna get at least one level of each. That way we have no problem spreading faster in places like Africa. And also guessing the rains down in Africa. What else? So let's see. This is just severity. I don't really care too much about that. Bloody saliva seems okay. We'll pick that up. That leads to paralysis, significantly hard to cure and can be lethal. Plus, heart attacks, increasing some lethality. So now we're getting into some of the dangerous stuff, and this is where Darwinists could start to work against me. I guess I'll go ahead and pick up things like the pigs. Sure, why not? A machine for pigs will be great. Get all that pork blood going, all that blood sausage, or whatever the frick else you people eat. Barbarians eating blood. Ugh. I don't even know if anyone actually eats it. What's the point of it? It's the sort of thing you see people eat like as joke videos on YouTube, like, we ate pork blood, and then they vomit, right? But I don't know what the actual practical purpose is. Maybe it's one of those things that's used for, like, processing, like, certain, I don't know, sausages and stuff. I know blood sausage is a thing. I don't know if pork blood is used for that. But is that the only function of pork blood? Are we gonna have an entire episode where I do nothing but talk about pork blood? We might. God, that could be kind of fun. Let's refund the heart attacks. I actually don't want too much lethality too early on. I feel like that would work against me more than for me. So let's see. How are we doing as far as the world infectivity? Pretty bad in Europe and anywhere else. This is actually looking pretty rough. Let's go for the tinnitus. This leads to faster heartbeats and necrosis, which is obviously extremely lethal. I'm not feeling super comfortable with what I'm going for here. Let's go for some cold resistance again, just trying to build some of this up. More drug resistance wouldn't be a bad idea, but we're not even really getting into Europe very much. Some heat resistance would be nice, but at 26 DNA, that feels like a pretty steep cost. Of course, we are playing on brutal difficulty. On a whim, I'm playing on brutal difficulty, so there you go. Let's go over the drug resistance. I do actually think that's generally going to be more important. The heat resistance is nice, but we're already spreading fairly nicely on that front. I'm going to start saving up some points and not worry about too much more. I mean, I want to make sure we actually get into a lot of these places. That said, gosh, if there were just some more air transmission or something, that'd be nice. Faster heartbeat, paralysis, slow down the cure, that's all nice. Let's go for some genetic hardening, slow things down just a smidge. We are getting into places like Iceland, spreading more. The more we spread, the more I know that I can use my fail-safe bacterial spreads and stuff, and we'll be just fine and dandy. Sitting on 68 DNA, now up to 72, it's pretty good. Do I go for the loss of breath? I don't really see the point in getting more severity at this point. Necrosis is good, but is that really what I want? Severity doesn't do me much. I think I'll take the paralysis. That leads to total organ failure. A little on the early side, I'm not going to lie. That scares me. We're going to have some lethality, yes. There's a good chance that a lot of places are going to start shutting down their ports. But aside from Greenland and the Caribbean, we're in most places. Or at least have the ability to get across their borders. So I'm not feeling super duper worried about it. I will grab the level of heat resistance just so we can spread a little bit faster, since so far I don't have any, let's say, pore transmission or more air transmission, stuff that I would actually want, you know? Spreading okay here in Africa. If I wanted to, I could start going for Greenland. We got total organ failure. I think I am going to go ahead and grab the necrosis. If we're going to have lethality go up, we might as well. Still spreading here. Remember, I can have this as an option. Now, the thing is, we've already got a hefty amount of lethality, right? And we're not even that far down in the symptoms tree, so I'm curious, like, how much more is there for me to do? Like, this is already enough lethality to win the game easy. Vampiric behavior. Huh. I'm wondering, I think they said something about being like a secret alternate ending, so maybe we should check it. Sweating. Sweating way down here? I guess it's good in the cold countries, but still. Adrenaline, increasing lethality due to the heartbeat stopping. Really? Superhuman speed. Are we creating vampires? Hemophilia. Fitness. Okay, let's just go down this. Blood clots. Causing clots all around the body. Skin lesions. See, this is the thing. Some of these feel backwards from where they ought to be. So I'm not really sure what to make out of all that. Kira's 25, 26. Oh my god, it's going fast. Holy frick. Okay, we need to kill faster. Pumping hearts, causing more severity. No. Faster heartbeat. No. Heart attacks, maybe. Fitness, profuse bleeding, blood clots. I mean, we gotta slow down this dang cure is what we gotta do. Let's go for some more genetic hardening. Global research focused on a cure. Yeah, no freaking kidding. It's going pretty dang fast here. Good news is we're killing rapidly, so I think we're gonna end up being okay, but yeah. That came out of freaking nowhere. Morocco's giving me some issues. Let's go ahead and just do this. Boom. I just want to go ahead and get it going. I mean, we would get there eventually, but we'll get a much better score the faster we can go, right? So we have points for genetic reshuffles. I'm not worried about that. Let's go for the blood clots. Let's go for the heart attacks. It's a load of lethality. Profuse bleeding, sure. Fitness, sure. Pumping hearts, faster heartbeats, loss of breath, bloody bruise. I got everything. So, like, what's the alternate ending? Or is there not actually an alternate ending? I don't know. Well, maybe there isn't. Or maybe there is. Hang on. Transmissions? No. Symptoms? No. Look at see. I don't see anything. All right, let's just go ahead and buy some genetic reshuffles then. If there is a secret ending, then I'm afraid I don't know what it is. Are we not infecting fast enough in Morocco? No, we should be. The necrosis should be getting me up to critical mass here. We're just waiting in Morocco to get up that little bit. The more... Oh, Morocco's bombing their cities. Well, that won't save you because you're dead. Serve me! Ha 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 ha! Actually, we're killing so fast that we're barely starting to get the infected numbers up. But here it comes. Here it got... Wait. Nope. Wait. Stop bombing your... You son of a... It worked. Oh my god. They bombed it and it worked. Oh, that can't be allowed to stand. Hang on. I have never in my hundreds of hours playing this game ever seen the bombing work so stinking effectively. Wow. Honestly, I'm slightly impressed. I'm like not even mad. That's like some really targeted bombing right there. That's the sort of stuff you do in like cure mode with a bioweapon. Absolutely amazing. Anyway, so we're going to win this one on brutal difficulty, no problem whatsoever. Again, I don't really feel like the bacterial spores are necessary. It's a nice little handicap, but at the end of the day, it probably makes things a little bit easier than it probably should be. Overall, though, the scenario starts off a little slow, and the reason for that is because there's just not enough transmission vectors, right? There's only like, what, 6 in total, and not many of them actually impact, as far as like the description says anyway, any particular transmission type, so I can't focus on urban a little bit faster to go through China, for example. And the result is you get a slow start, which means we now took 570 days. Now, that said, I still got 2 stars, so it's like it's not the worst thing in the world. Just like if there's anything that could improve in this scenario, it's probably pulling away the bacterial spores and instead creating at least a couple more thematically appropriate transmissions. That's my own personal opinion. Also, the symptoms are a little bit weird in the arrangement. You usually don't start with tons of lethality in the middle and then work your way down toward a nice infectivity again, but it worked. It's not that it's unbalanced, it's just an unusual choice. Overall, though, I think that the scenario is pretty decent. Could use some improvement, but it's overall pretty good. Thank you for sending it my way. And thank all of you for watching. I do hope you enjoyed. If so, then I would ask you to hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.